So this glimpse is called Rainbow. This is my second time to record it because, I don't know, something happened with the camera and it trashed the file, and that's unfortunate because I a lot of this story I don't like telling. So this goes back to when my dad died, and I guess this time I'm not going to go into so much detail about the circumstance, but suffice it to say, gosh, it's one of those things. So this is, did I say this is about when my dad died? So I was 21, just trying to really figure out life still, and basically I'm at work and get a phone call, and deputies had been at the store a few minutes before, and then they'd gone to my mother's house and told her that my dad was dead and his body had been found, and so she called me and let me know. I closed down the store, went to her house. It was a regular grief party, people crying, blah blah blah. There were people bringing over casseroles or whatnot. I know it was awkward. We're, I don't know, 90 days or so into some sort of little drought. Hadn't rained, but that afternoon, this thunderstorm lets loose, gives us a little soaking. And as soon as that thunderstorm let go, I was ready to get out of the house. And so I went to this hill where my dad's body was found, and so apparently he was killed approximately or deceased approximately a month before his body was found, which just happened to be my brother's birthday. And so anyway, he was found in a car on top of this hill by a jogger or something, and he'd been shot in the back of the head, and his corpse sat there in the car with all the doors open, rotting for a month before it was found by smell. So after a month, the corpse goes to putrefaction and liquefaction, and it lets go of all its body fluids, and there's just pools of weird fluids around with lots of maggots and stuff, and it's it's god-awful smell you'll ever get to smell, the smell of death. And I suppose men that have been to war and seen dead bodies probably know it, but outside of that, most people never really experience it. It's not really the same with a dead animal, although the smell is kind of the same. It doesn't hit you the same as when it's a person, especially someone that you love. So anyway, it took me a long time many years before I learned a lot of the details about this. It was ruled ended up officially being ruled a suicide, but he was shot in the back of the head, and there was all kinds of shady stuff, and it just didn't add up. So I'm not going to go into that, though, because that drove me crazy practically for a good decade or more after that. It took a long time to try to make peace with this. So on this occasion, I was extremely pissed at the universe and any God that might exist ruling over it, for his hand in allowing whatever to transpire had transpired there. And so I went back to the scene of the crime, so to speak, and I climbed the hill and found where the car had been parked, and it was right near the top of this hill, and there was no driveway or path or anything getting there. It was a really rough path, and Wrecker had a tough time getting up there, I'm sure. Anyway, there was a windmill on top of the hill. This is where I finally get to the decent part of the story that doesn't make me just want to retch. So there's a windmill on top of the hill, and it's bent over. It's an old windmill. It's completely broken, but it sticks up a good, I don't know, 15, 20 feet maybe. And so I climbed to the top of this windmill, and I'm standing there at the highest point, and I'm raising my hands and shouting at the sky and yelling at God, cursing him for letting my father die like this. And so at that moment, I see the sun come. So, or, you know, in the distant horizon, there was a little space between the horizon and the clouds from the thunderstorm, and the sun, you know, it was just, what, 15 minutes, half an hour before sunset. The sun got low enough, it was shining underneath the cloud cover there, and which itself is a really beautiful thing. If you've seen that, the clouds kind of lit from under by the sunlight, with the colors of the sunset on top of it. And so, you know, here I am yelling at God, and all of a sudden there's this, you know, beautiful, amazing sunset going on, and I look at the other direction, and there's a double rainbow stretched across the sky. Just, you know, huge, perfect double rainbow like I'd never seen before in my life. And so at that moment, I pretty much just had to break down and cry and begin trying to accept what was happening, even though I didn't want to accept this extremely bitter pill that life was forcing me to swallow. So yeah, in this glimpse, I was shown, even though I didn't want to accept it, because I was basically an you know, borderline atheist, agnostic. I'm so pissed at God, if he exists, that I don't want to accept that he exists, and I'm not sure that he does, because how the heck is this happening, right? Just, I can't wrap my brain around it. So that's where I am. But at the same time, the timing of this sunset and appearing, manifesting, and the rainbow at that moment while I'm on top of the windmill, it, you know, it felt like that moment in time and space, everything that was made for me. In the universe, so at that moment I had this fairly convincing evidence of some higher power or whatever spirit in the universe manifesting at a material level in forms of this phenomenon of the sunset and the rainbow, manifesting that to give me some sort of solace over the death of my father. So it was hard to deny that, and existential level, it was a proof of, you know, something greater than something the eye can't see, the senses can't see, yet it's got intelligence and seems to be aware of us. And, yeah, isn't that the understatement of the day? So, but that's kind of the scientific description of it I think I would use at the time. Yeah. So, anyway, that's the rainbow.